Welcome back, everyone. We are on episode number 4 of our Oxygen Not Included, the Frosty Planet DLC. In this episode, we do need to situate some more of this water. Otherwise, we're going to be running out of oxygen. And I mean like now. I mean, look at that. We're really in a rough shape. So we may add a few different things to accomplish this goal. Starting with another teapot ice liquefier. We've got that on the high end. I think what we also might do is change the location of a couple things like that. Then we'll go down instead. And then that way we have room for the liquid tepidizer, because we need the liquid tepidizer. That will keep everything nice and warm inside of this room, so we could throw ice inside and melt it all, and then it'll work just fine. Not fertilized. Okay, that would be wise. So they need some phosphorus. Got it. So let's actually check our priority list here. Let's reset everything on the priority list to like a 6. That way we can just focus fire what we need to finish off right away, especially because we need to keep the food up. We're at 0 calories apparently, and that is not good, right? We definitely want to get that food back up right away. Did we have some running around here? No, we did not. Okay. That's alright. That's quite alright. We'll probably be able to find some food right away. Let's see, we have some... Yeah, we have this one right here. Let's just put those at a 9 instead. All the food needs to be a 9, and then what we're gonna do is add a bunch more, I think. Probably, I mean, we don't need it in an actual ranch, not branch, what am I thinking of here? You know, who am I kidding? We're just gonna make this whole thing. Yeah. That's gonna be perfect. It's gonna give us more food, and it's gonna be great, right? Right. Alright, let's change some of these things up. And then these teapots also need to be a 9. Look at that. We've got water being moved around. We're going to send this in here, and we are going to get plenty. That's right, plenty of oxygen soon. I wish you could just, like, attach it and just drop it off, but that's wishful thinking, I think. I hope everybody is doing well. We've hit quite a number of milestones in this little run. What else are we gonna do? We are gonna need yeah, we can get some of those. We're gonna need some steel eventually. Yeah, we're gonna need quite a bit of this stuff. Let's get some of this ready so we can get these critters. Because I want some mammoths. Yeah, some mammoths would be, sounds fun. Right? Oh, this should also be a 9. And then I'm thinking we might be able to get a couple more duplicates. That'll probably be nice. Are we out of wood? No, we're not out of wood, but we need more. You can never have too much. Let's see, we've got granite, igneous rock. Here's our iron. We should probably keep going down, right? And then we'll break this open. And then submit a bioscan in a little bit. This is so cool. I'm really enjoying this DLC. It's not easy. And I'm okay with that. I hope other people have also felt the same way. I don't I don't like everything just to be the same, right? And it really is challenging because it's different than the other cold asteroids that you can get on, with all of the different types of plants, the different animals. It's so neat. Oh, we need to change that to a 9 so we get some sleet wheat. It's ready. Oh, just dropped. Perfect. Okay, all right. Let's see if we can use that to our advantage. We have so many seeds. This will also be an 8. One reason things are not getting done very efficiently is due to the fact that we only have 4 duplicants, and we're staying on the lowest speed for a little bit. Let's throw those here. Yeah. And I don't want to go on the fastest setting on the speed, because we're struggling for oxygen, we're struggling for a couple other things, and I'd rather just wait until it's ready. Okay, so we're not sending water down yet. Let's get rid of this one. Turn it to a 9. Get rid of all this extra piping. Perfect. And then I don't know if it's 2 or 1. I don't remember. Let's look. Oh, it needs to be larger. Okay. That's a little problematic. Not crazy problematic, but a little bit. There we go. We get some oxygen from water. We need a little bit more. Okay, we're just gonna make this just a smidge larger, so we can put the tepidizer inside of it, and then we'll get rid of this ladder once this stuff is done. Alright, somebody build that so we can keep getting oxygen, please. And then how's our gases look? Okay. We're just sending it all up there, which is probably a good thing. Okay, it is an actual stable. Both of those are. We got some water being made. I think the pipe is full. Yeah, it is. Okay. Great. All right, we're gonna go a little bit faster now that we have some food. We have some oxygen being made. I mean, it's not a ton of oxygen, but it's definitely more than what we started with. Make this a little bit higher priority. And then let's look at the liquid tepidizer really quick. We can make an aqua tuner. And this needs 240 watts, so that's not very much. I was expecting it to be a little bit more. But I'm okay with that, to be honest. Turn this, is it this? It is the highest, okay. And then we need a couple of things. This should also be a, like 8. 5.1 tons of wood, okay. We're doing pretty good in that regard right now. We need to make sure that we have that though. So that way they can get their buff. Okay. Do we have a liquid reservoir? We do. We don't really have a lot of room over here right now. And that's okay, but We need to start building this other stuff before we can just decide on, hey, let's just build it in the middle of there. We can cement the bioscan. Is there any indication of what's down here? I mean, this is warm right here. 32 degrees. Okay, what do we got? A pom-pom knit suit. Oh, that's so cool. Suit wearing, cooking, researching. You can't cook very well and you take forever in the bathroom. Immune to food poisoning and germ resistant. Now, that's not terrible. Let's do it. Okay, we're gonna need a bedroom. Yeah, definitely gonna need a bedroom. Okay, we're going to copy the settings here, grab some more pike apple bushes. We just need to get some more up in here. It's just gonna be very helpful to provide that. Let's look at our oxygen. Okay, oxygen is doing a little bit better. We have so much carbon dioxide that these are just not taking care of it yet. Do we even have the carbon skimmer? We do have a carbon skimmer, so we could even put that at the bottom just to get rid of it. If we really wanted to, but we'd have to pump some nice fresh liquid into it. We'll have to wait and see what we decide to do. Okay, we have a lot going on. Let's go a little bit faster. Ooh, we have another hat. What do we have for our hats? Ooh, grilling 2, grilling, advanced research. We'll go the other direction with the research. That way we can have 2 researchers doing 2 different things. And then I'm not gonna commit any more points right now. We don't really have the morale for it, so I don't wanna force that at all. Here's where we're gonna put a liquid reservoir on the other side. And then we're going to deconstruct all of these and those. So we can put the liquid tepidizer in there. Because once we have that and we get enough water, then we can just pump the water into the liquid reservoir, and it doesn't change very much inside of the reservoir. So if we keep it at a good temperature and then let it go after a certain time, then it'll probably be nice and warm. Won't have to worry about it re-freezing into ice and that kind of thing. So that's kind of what I'm thinking to do. We'll see if it plays out like that, but that's generally what I think is going to be best, especially so the areas can stay cold enough for like the pike apple bush, and the phloxes and everything. Okay, let's go copy the settings, go all the way across, get some more of those up and running. Not too shabby. Cycle 50, 5 duplicates. Okay, they're not going to get to that stuff fast enough. So what we're going to do instead is build a bedroom right here. 1, 2. And then we're going to go 1 and just add one of these. And we'll make it a little bit larger and do the same setup that we have going on over here. Except for the sand, the snow tiles will probably melt after a little bit of time, but that's okay. Everything's just taking a little bit longer to get done, even on the fastest speed. There we go. All we had to do was change the priority. Let's put this as a mesh tile. Okay, now that this is open, we go to utilities, liquid tapidizer. We can throw that down here. And then this is only at 180 or 840. So we'll temporarily put that in here. Maybe some automation just to save us a little bit of hassle, so it's not running constantly when it shouldn't be. So we're battling the oxygen right now. We may need to upgrade to either another one of these mini SPOMs or the other SPOM where you've got 2 different electrolyzers. That might be the route we go. So we will see. Yep, we will see. Look at that. Wonderful work, everyone. Finally catching up. We'll start making this the super cold area that we want everything in. Kind of encapsulate the areas we want to keep warm, and then the areas we want to keep cold, we'll separate those. Because if these get too warm, yeah, we're not going to have the pike apple bushes. So, some extra research. Yeah, I know there's not enough oxygen generation. We're working on it. We're working on it. So let's look. How close are we? Let's look at our colony summary. And this is a very good tool to use if you're not sure how much more oxygen you need to produce. So 269 kilograms this past cycle, right? And how much we consume is about 260. So we don't need like another giant, we don't need to make a giant SPOM right now. Right now we are really set with what we are doing. Yeah, I think we'll just play it out a little bit more. Maybe it would be good to do the carbon skimmer. I mean, if we look at these, they only consume 200 milligrams of carbon dioxide, so that's really not a lot. Especially when we look at a duplicate, right? We just look at them. They 2,000 milligrams of carbon dioxide per second. So in comparison, 1 for 1 of these we should need, and we have extras lying around, so it should be enough. But I don't think it is right now. Oh, it's not, because we also have to take into consideration the wood heater, which is emitting 4,000 milligrams. So 4,000. And then we have, let's see, 26. What? Why is that more? Is that because of the yucky lungs? It might be. Yeah, it is. Okay. So yucky lungs makes you drop out more carbon dioxide. Okay, I didn't know that. Now, that's good to know, because we want to get rid of the polluted oxygen then coming from any of the polluted water up here, right? Okay, so anyways, let's look at this again. 1,333, 2,000. We're just going to go with all of them are 2,000. So so we have 5 duplicates at 2,000. That's 10,000 milligrams plus the wood heater. So it's 14,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And they are supposed to be able to take 2,000 each. So we need at least 7. So we'll make a couple more. Yeah. That's probably why we're seeing way more carbon dioxide, because we're not consuming enough for the amount that we're producing. I hope that makes sense. It definitely made sense in my head. Okay, looking good. Oxygen's looking better. But so could our carbon dioxide. Our carbon dioxide can start looking way better. And the reason that I bring that up, okay, if we look at the skimmer takes 300 grams per second, so that probably would be enough to just at least equalize all of it. Okay, this stuff needs to get done like pronto, because someone's sleeping in a place they shouldn't be. Thank you. Now we're adding another 4,000 milligrams, so adding more of these is kind of almost a needed at that point. But that's how you manage it. We just need to make sure that we are consuming more than we are producing, or at least at a minimum getting rid of as much as we're making, right? So equalizing it, that would be probably the best way to handle it. All right, same here. Please finish this stuff. Are we stuck? We are stuck. That's why. Cold and alone and afraid. There you go. Now we're not stuck. There we go. 14,000 calories. That's pretty good. We got some Frosty buns. Okay. Looking really nice. I mean, this is constantly going now that we have 2 tea kettles. It would probably be better just to put it like right next to it so they don't have to go very far. But I'm pretty much okay with them having to go back and forth for right now. Let's get rid of that right here. Plumbing. Okay, radiant pipes. Conduction panel. Can function in a vacuum. Carries liquid, allowing extreme temperature exchange with overlapping buildings. It can transfer heat effectively even if no liquid is passing through it. Okay. Interesting. Made a mess. Why did you... Oh no. Oops. Whoopsie. Let's yeah, we should take care of that, huh? Alright, what do we have here? Curable tablets. If there's any germs, we'll take that on with the curable tablets for food poisoning. Let's turn that to a 7. Please. Yeah, we need to get this rolling as well. Refinement. We have a water sieve. Should probably put that outside the base, to be honest. We don't have a chlorine setup, but we can, yeah, we'll put this all right here. And then turn this to a 7. Yeah, we'll put it here. Refinement, water sieve. There we go. And then we want a reservoir here. So what the plumbing is going to look like is we need to use insulated pipe, right? 1, 2. These are gonna go up. Insulated, go up, over, and then this comes back over, down, and around. That should be good enough. We do need to put a wire to it. How much is on here? 840, and that's 120. Yeah, do that. Let's get rid of this battery. We don't need it. Let's get rid of this. We'll leave these up here. They can run on that if they need to. That'll give them a little bit of good amount of athletics. So they can run faster, get to places quicker, those kinds of things. We probably should focus on the mess hall, but I'm tired of getting the polluted stuff. So it's going to be better if we take care of this now. Actually, yeah, like now. There we go. Much better. All right, let's slow it down to the medium speed. I don't want to miss stuff. I feel like it happens too much. Okay, how's the temperature of this down here? Okay, so this temperature is bleeding out a little bit. You know what we could do? We could try to take some heat from these. No, don't do it like that. So this oxygen is right here, and if we go with a radiant pipe, and all we have is iron and cinnabar. Let's just compare the two. Look at the thermal conductivity really quick. So thermal conductivity is a 9. And an 8 on the other one. Okay, so we'll use the cinnabar ore. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And then this is going to help heat up this area a little bit. We don't need to do a ton of heating up, but I feel like keeping this cold, or keeping the oxygen cold, is going to help keep the base where we want it. Because that's just bleeding. And we should probably just delete these and throw insulated tile in them. Yeah, that's the way we're going to go. Come on, you can do it. There we go. Turn it off. And then put this at, those are at 9s. Maybe let's do a 5. There we go. Everybody's focused. Whew. Didn't know if it was gonna happen, everyone. I mean, look at our oxygen. It's getting way better. It's starting to spread out. Okay, so now let's look. Yeah, everything's staying in here. Way better. All right, what do we have? Radiation lamp. Don't need that. Farm station. That's neat. Park sign. Refrigerator. Hydroponic farm. All cool things to have, but we don't need any of it right in this moment. Okay, why are we doing that over... That's why. Okay. Yeah, we need all of this. Much better. Okay. At some point, this will get made, and we are going to rush that. Because I want this to get warmer. What's the priority of this? Okay, that's a 9. This is not a 9. Okay, once those are done, we'll do our little dance here with the cut tool. No, don't need to build anything. All we gotta do is go like this. Okay, if you look at the temperature, it's not gonna change too much. Right? This is going to exchange with the liquid. So if we look at the liquid, the water is going up in temperature. The ice is at 1 degree Celsius. And then the snow is at -5. So this all has to heat up a little bit more. We're gonna drop more water in here. Hopefully the liquid temperizer just needs to get a little bit more submerged. Perfect. That looks fantastic. Requires emptying. Okay. Yeah, we need to empty that. We also need to set this up. Do we have sand or a filtration medium of some kind? We do have some sand. Good. Okay. We're doing really well. I feel like we've turned around the carbon dioxide issue. I still think it might be a really good idea to throw a carbon skimmer, but we're going to try and leave that out of this system until we have an absolute requirement to use it. Oh, we've got some pike apple down here. And here. Oh yeah, that was a better decision. Okay, can we make this bathroom, please? That would be so much better. And wipe this up. Germs are probably running rampant right now. Wait a second. There's a morb. Where did that come from? I don't need slime lung on anything. Alright, this needs to happen like now. Yeah, no morbs. Thank you. I don't know where that morb came from, but that was scary. Okay, we need an area to drop off the polluted water so we can send it in here, and I have found the perfect spot for that. It is going to be right here. We don't need it to be fancy. We just want 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And then this is going to be plumbing, liquid pump. And then we are going to have a bottle emptier right there. Okay, and then all we need is a bridge. Perfect. And that will get done before the bathroom. That's how efficient we are. We're gonna take a break from the research so we have enough people making stuff and delivering stuff. So this is what we're gonna use to drop off our polluted water. We are going to throw that into our bathroom loop just for the meantime, right? That's just, I think, the easiest way to do stuff. Okay, mercury, 8.3. Has a radiation blocking. Oh, that's so cool. Okay. I've never used mercury before, but it seems like it could be very useful. Okay, and then the liquid, polluted water. Alright, all that is done. What's next? 9 degrees Celsius. Okay. Yeah, we need some more water. Because no water means no oxygen, that's for sure. Wait. How did we get a... Oh, we got some floxes here. We have so many floxes right now. Alright, we should change the priority of these to a 9 as well. Oh, they already are. Having the loop is probably going to be a better idea. You know what? I'm tired of this. Come on, people. Let's get it done. Because then we can have all the polluted water dropped off when we need it to go. We have all the sand ready. We have all the everything. That's kind of why we want this loop in place, so we can get rid of this little bathroom. All of the things. Perfect. Nobody's eating until this is done. If only that was the case, right? Speaking of which, okay. That's good. I was wondering about our scheduling since we added a 5th duplicate, so we could probably add a 6th one if we wanted to. We have plenty of food now. Pike apple skewers. Okay, let's change the priority on these. Almost ready on another duplicate. So I think we'll have another one that'll be helpful. We may need to add another one of our mini SPOMs here, but we'll see. We have to figure out if this is making enough or not first. Nobody is putting wood in the heater. Someone do it. There we go. Thank you. All right. Now that we know what we're doing, let's put on the fast shoes. We run through this super fast. Go, 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 go. All right, what do we have? Let's slow down for a moment. Take a look at our blueprint. Okay, what do we have here? We have a suit wearer that can't do research. We have an operator that can't do research and have noodle arms. Ooh, noodle arms. I don't know about that. Researching, doctoring, and tidying. Increased cook. I can't do cooking errands. I'm gonna go with Quinn. I like it. I like it a lot. Welcome, Quinn. And then the schedule, we're going to take Quinn, put it there. Who's all the way at the top? Is it Amari? It is Amari. Alright, Amari, you're also going to be on the same schedule. Okay, these don't need to be on a super high priority. These are almost done. Super excited for it. Whew. So the reason we can do this, anybody that's newer to Oxygen Not Included, one of the nice little loops here is duplicants. They produce more liquid than they use in the bathroom loop. So what happens is the reservoir will fill up, and then it'll send all of this. We're going to deconstruct that one and put another reservoir there. I'm going to have two different reservoirs, and that's going to be... We need to flip this around. Is that going to be the spot? Yeah, I think it is. So what I was saying is, since the duplicants will produce more water than they consume, this will be an endless loop, and eventually we'll need to take care of it by removing the excess water that gets generated. We have a nice little chlorine bath to use that for later on. Okay, and then this is going to be, we'll do that at a 9. We're going to go up and over here. And then we will probably cut the pipe here. And let's turn this also to highest priority. Perfect. We're almost there. We almost have our full bathroom set up. We'll make sure they can't go backwards. Only forwards. Then it forces them to use the heater room to get the extra buff. Okay. Thank you. And then boom. That should be plenty of extra space for both before and after. We have 2 buffers being made. We have a buffer for the polluted water coming out of the system in case the water sieve does not turn it into water fast enough, so this pipe will probably back up. We just want to make sure that we can easily take care of all that water without that happening. And then we have an extra amount coming into the reservoir after it of fresh, clean water. Well, fresh, not clean, because it'll have germs on it. But you get the idea. We're just going to keep this into an ever-living loop, and that will be that. Okay, we are almost there. We can't turn off the other bathroom until we have water in the system. Which might be a minute. Because we're going to use the polluted water from up here once this is done. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. They're getting so close. Okay, let's move faster. Do. Look at hop around. They're so cute. With their little branches. It's like the flocks. What would that be? Well, obviously a fox. What would be... Like, it looks like a deer antlers, right? But it's not. Let's see. Does it give any clues? Let's look at the... Slow it down for a minute. Okay. Let's see. Okay, that's wood. Do they give us any sort of indication? No. No. Evenly distributed through the flock's dense overcoat are countless vibrissae, I really butchered that word, like hairs that transmit detailed sensory information about its environment, allowing it to detect changes as subtle as a shift in another creature's mood. They overstimulate by whipping their tails to release the pent-up energy because their tactile hairs are so sensitive. That is ridiculous, and I love it. They cannot be safely shorn. Oh. Their antlers, however, are nerveless and cumbersome. Handlers who unburden them of their cranial load are often rewarded with the critter's long, slow blinks of contentment. That is fantastic. I love it. Love it so much. Oh my gosh. We did it. We did it. We're just out of power? Oh. You're not out of power. Okay, now... Yeah, now we need to do this. Whew. Oh my gosh, Joshua. What is going on? That is the slowest climb I have ever seen. Ever. Oh, man. Alright. We need some more ore, I think. So we're gonna start doing some of that. And that's perfect, because it'll pump all of the polluted water as soon as it is turned on. It's gonna be right about now. Alright, go. And then that should provide enough in there. We're gonna go faster speed. So this is nice to have because then you don't off-gas that polluted water from anything else that you have. It goes right into these, and then voila, you're good to go. Waiting filtration medium. Yeah, we'll do that. Oh, Quinn. Cold damage. It's so cold still. Even though... Oh, my goodness. Okay, well... We tried. We'll have to do some warmer water. Let's do regular water. We can enable auto bottle. Get some warmer water in there. Once they start going to the bathroom, I don't think this is going to be very much of an issue. Oh no. Carbon dioxide's going up again. They didn't have that amount of priority on these for a second. Okay, all right. There's some. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I kind of expected that, to be honest, but it was worth a shot, I think. We're gonna need, yeah, we're gonna need some warmer water in order for this to work. We tried though, we definitely tried. Okay, well, we'll leave these other bathrooms here for now until we can get that situated with more and more water. I guess that water wouldn't be warm enough at all, huh? We'll have to wait and see if when they go to the bathroom if that keeps it nice and warm. Yeah, we're just gonna do this really quick. So it's at negative 1.8. Yeah, that's that's not gonna be enough. We're gonna need to really seriously warm this stuff up. Okay, good to know. It was worth a shot though. Let's see, how warm is this getting? So this is 24 degrees, okay. This water, or this ice is at 0.5. Melting point is at negative 0.6. So why hasn't the ice melted more? Very good question. Hopefully they'll just keep delivering. No, not water there. Water goes here. Yeah, we're not even gonna bother with this for a little bit. There's gonna be too much damage. Way too much damage. That's why we want to use the teppidizer, get this nice and hot. Even if they use the bathroom. I mean, that polluted water is at still negative 3.7. That's not warming up at all. This is such a balancing act. It's a very delicate asteroid. And copy the settings. Let's put some more of these down. Get some extra carbon dioxide consumed per day. Oh my gosh, walk faster. Okay, so here's what we are going to do. We are going to try this. Simply because of how warm it is. And we can't keep enough water here to keep warming up the ice. There we go. Barely any of the hydrogen got out. Alright, let's look at the temperature. Okay, this stuff is warming up a little bit at a time. Let's see if this works. The gas pipe is helping. It's definitely helping. Okay. Once this ice melts and we can get enough water in here, I think we'll be set. There we go. Deliver more. Let's see, how much is in there? No, there's nothing. That would be why. Building melted. Oh no. We need to fix that. Pronto. Alright. Yeah, we don't have anything. Here, let's just deconstruct the buildings. And then we'll deconstruct this pipe since it's all breaking. I don't want them to keep going back and forth and trying to use it and then it breaking and, you know, all that kind of stuff. We should do. Yeah. That way nothing keeps melting. Alright, we got a little bit more water. How's that looking inside? Okay. Good. Let's keep building a reservoir here. Please. Look at that. Build up. You dropping down? You are. Okay, let's look at our oxygen. Yeah, it's not great. Not great by any means. And I don't think we're going to be able to put a carbon skimmer in because it's still going to be way too cold. Turn it on. It says it's not got enough power. Oh, yeah, I could see that being the case. 960? You need your own? Really? Oh boy. Alright, well. No. We can't do that because we want the bottle emptier here. However, all of this that's getting produced, that's pretty hot, is warming up this area nicely. So that's going to contribute to our oxygen production pretty quickly. We're going to put insulated tiles here. Probably insulate all of this. Oh, we don't have material. We'll wait for that. At least we'll put it here. They're starting to build the mess tables. We need them. We really need them. All right, let's get some more water in here. I'm gonna stop trying to build everything at once as I build more. Let's do that out of sandstone. They can't reach, I don't think, and that's why they're not over here. Get rid of some of these extra tasks for now. We'll come back to them in a little bit. This is okay for right now. Oh, it melted. So having 2 of these is the problem, right? We have that brings in 8,000 carbon dioxide milligrams per second, plus 6 dupes at 2,000 a piece maximum. So 2,000, that's 12,000, 16, 20,000. So if we wanted to try and take care of that, these all do 2,000 per 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 times 2. Or 10 times 2,000. That's enough, right? That's 20,000 right there. And then all these extra ones. What do we got going on here? We'll do a fungal spore. Why not? Oh, our water is increasing. We are getting there. Yes. Here's what we're gonna do. Then the liquid tapidizer is going to be on its own circuit. Since it's 900. And that's just so much. I was not anticipating that. Yeah, I'm sure it is insufficient right now. That's okay. It is all at a 9. We're getting a good amount of liquid here, and we're seeping heat out of the mini SPOM to keep it warm. Once this is all nice and toasty, then I think what we'll do is work on a bigger SPOM and move it elsewhere. That way it's not so close to the base. We can put it like out here, or, you know, just somewhere where it's not in the vicinity of the base to keep heating up everything. That's my thought, at least for this portion of the cycle that we're on. There we go. As long as we're not stuck, this will be perfectly fine. More water. Okay. This is going to eat up a ton of the hydrogen. Look at that. Let's see how fast does it get nice and warm. Oh man, that's great. Let's melt that ice. The ice melted. Okay, let's turn it off. Let's get some more, just move some ice in there, yeah? Move the ice. Move some snow. There we go. We don't want to put all of the ice in here. That's why I didn't put a, like a storage bin. We only want a little bit. Let's see. You know, temperature's pretty warm. Let's turn only a couple of them at a 9. Right? Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I think My top 5 things to kind of learn as you start this asteroid. The first is coming in here where the wood heater is and putting your beds around either side of the wood heater so you know where they'll get nice and frost resistance. And then the second being you need to get the research portal so you can make wood tiles and a couple other things, but that is probably definitely something to get it like right away. Third is get farm tiles researched so you can at least start to get some sort of food, unless you're doing the, well, I don't know, how would you do the carnivore challenge on this? You would have to like immediately go after the mammoth. I mean, I don't know how you would end up grabbing them because you can't plant anything if you want the other achievement, right? You can't get the locavore if you plant something, right? Something to ponder on. Okay, are we moving stuff? We are not moving stuff. Okay, how about we do that then? Temperature, everything's getting nice and toasty. Gotta pick up the snow. Oh, it would be a lot easier if we had a way over here. Okay, snow delivered. Much better. My gosh, they're so slow. Okay, how cold did it get? It got a little warm, or a little chilly. Let's turn on the teppidizer. Get it nice and hot. Let's melt that snow. Wow, that's super fast. Yeah, that is definitely the route to go. And you can't keep this on forever, right? But it should definitely melt some of this pretty quickly. Okay, we're gonna just turn it off. Now that that liquid is at 40 degrees, that'll help melt everything. There we go. We'll just leave it alone, and it'll hopefully, I mean, look at how fast it's dropping. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. Wonderful. I mean, if we look at our oxygen, it's getting a little bit better. I think when we build this up a little bit more, probably going to need to move on to the other SPOM. I think I'm just going to build it like right here. Yeah. So we're going to start with 2 tiles right there. And that's where the start of the next SPOM is going to be. It's going to be 2 electrolyzers instead of just 1. And then while we're at it, we'll start adding a good amount of extra water. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. We just won't use it. We'll just leave it alone for now. We'll do a lower priority to fix. Look at that. That temperature is so nice. When all this stuff melts, we're gonna have so much water. Okay, so we had that. We aren't doing research. Oh. How did that happen? Alright, we're gonna slow it down while they figure out how this ice needs to get removed. We did get our reservoir started. We've got our liquid temperizer in this episode. We added a second ice liquefier so we can keep a good fresh amount of water in here for the oxygen production, which is starting to look a lot better. We added some more of the alveo vera plants because we needed to make sure we're at least taking out as much carbon as we are producing. So looking at each dupe, we did a quick count, 2,000 a piece, and then 4,000 per wood heater. So that brought us to 20,000, right? So that means we would need 10 of these plants because they consume 20,000 milligrams of carbon dioxide per second. So as long as we are consuming the same amount as we are producing, then this should not overflow with carbon dioxide, right? So that's where we are at right now. We're going to be building a new SPOM away from the base since we do need more for the oxygen production. This is just not cutting it with one, and that is going to be probably done within the next episode. So please let me know what your thoughts are, if there's something you would do differently in this situation, or if you just need some help with something, you're doing your own run and you're not sure how to handle this issue. Please, by all means, let me know in the comments below. We have a community that is growing that are more than happy to help provide any insight if needed. And I'm just so happy that this is continuing to go in a positive direction. So that's it for this one, folks. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll see you in the next one.